Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Bluball 1993. Got some hot console corner action for you today. This video is your power rankings for Phase 7, Week 1. Now, before you get confused, I will explain the new way we are doing power rankings here on Console Corner, as I will also explain to you that Masters LAN was the end of the spring split. So none of these rankings have anything to do with what happened before or during the spring split or Masters LAN. So congratulations to Flashpoint. Vex did great, Fable did great, and Onslaught did great. However, 3 of those teams did not play in Week 1 of Phase 7. So those 3 teams, which were Flashpoint, Vexed Gaming, and Onslaught, are not included in this power rankings video because they did not play in Phase 7 Week 1. Now, Flashpoint, Vexed, Onslaught may be better than the teams that are in this power rankings, but they did not play, so again, they are not included. So, before we begin, let me explain the new way we're doing power rankings. Before we used to do it, the top 8 teams for PS4 EU, PS4 NA, Xbox EU, and Xbox NA. Well, now we're doing it just Europe and just North America. So this way we get a little bit more competitive with our power rankings, and hopefully we make the teams a little bit more competitive within themselves to strive to be better than their counterparts. For example, the Xbox EU teams will be in the same power rankings as the PS4 EU teams, because that's what everyone wants. They want to be the best in the world or the best in their region rather than just the best in their region on their platform. Another thing that has changed is we used to do every team that showed up for the open bracket each week, but now we have started to notice that some teams may play one week but never qualify and never play another week. So instead of putting every single team in the open bracket format into the power rankings, we're just going to be ranking the teams that qualify. For example, this week, this Phase 7 Week 1 open bracket tournament qualifies 4 teams from each region on each platform. So there'll be 8 teams on each side. 4 from PS4 NA, 4 from Xbox NA. That makes 8 for the North American power rankings. And the same will go for the EU power rankings. Now, let's get started. First, let's start with the EU. At number 1, we've got the FY Midnight Oligarchs. They won their region in PS4 EU, sorry. And I believe that they are the number 1 team. And iTech, the team they faced in PS4 EU finals, is the number 2 team. The reason being is because Flashpoint would be the number 1 team. Flashpoint would be the best EU team in the world right now. However, they didn't play. And FY Midnight Oligarchs and iTech have great games and goes head-to-head with them, and they're just as strong, maybe a little bit weaker than Flashpoint. So I put them up there at 1 and 2. Number 3 and number 4 are from Xbox. That's Meatball and OB420. I believe that Meatball is a really good team. They've taken maps, or some of the players on their roster have taken maps off of Vex in the past. And I believe that they could give Vex a run for their money for this next LAN qualifier here. But Vex needs to show up to a bracket as well as Flashpoint. At number 5 is Game of Throws, which comes from the PS4 EU region. Another decent roster there. Number 6 and number 7 are another pair of Xbox teams, Need Healing and Necro Gaming. And last but not least is number 8, Meta Games. If you have any questions about why these teams are where they are, feel free to let me know on Twitter or in my Discord, which is linked below. Now up next for the NA teams, we've got number 1, Fable. Now, before I go any further, I know a bunch of people are going to come at my neck and try to just pull out all these excuses that I'm saying Fable is number 1 because I'm on their team now. Let me be clear. I am not biased when I am doing these power rankings. I will give you my perfect perfectly clear and solid explanation to why they are number one. But I want everyone to understand that because I'm on their team does not mean I am biased towards them. Console Corner is separate from my pro career, and I want everyone to understand that right now. Fable is number one over Misfortune. Yes, both of these two teams won their brackets in the North American region. Misfortune 2-0'd Low Expectations, and Fable 2-0'd Elevate. Now, Fable did do it in a faster pace than Misfortune, but that is not why I did this. Fable is number one because they went up against Elevate, who is an experienced roster, who has more experience than Low Expectations, who were the opponents against Misfortune. They have players that have been on the HRX stage at LAN, compared to no LAN experience from Low Expectations. They also have a person on their team on Elevate, Sir James Parker, who a lot of people have claimed to be the best player on Xbox, the best DPS player on Xbox. Then on the Fable side, you have Wonderful, who has 2 MVPs at LANs, who finished second in his third LAN, who's a player that casters and players and fans and spectators have all said that he is the best player in the world. If he's the best player in the world, then he clearly is the best on Xbox. On the other hand, you have SJP. These star-studded rosters go up against each other. And on the other side, you have Misfortune, a star-studded roster against Low Expectations, who, don't get me wrong, are good players, but they're not as experienced. They haven't had that experience against tough teams like Misfortune, against Fable, against Elevate before, or as often. So I'm giving the number one seed to Fable in the power rankings. Number two will go to Misfortune, of course, because they won their region and they played exceptionally well. Number three is Elevate because of their roster depth. Sir James Parker, their history on big stages, and just their outwit, damn good play. Press Y and With Fear. I believe With Fear is the No Fear lineup. They were the third seed team. I could be wrong. It could be Press Y. But they're up there with Fable and Elevate, or right below them. And I believe that Xbox NA is still stronger than PS4 NA. Despite Misfortune being such an exception, even with a couple Xbox transfers of their own. Now, Low Expectations is number 6. I still believe if they keep grinding, they'll be able to move up. They used to be last place in the power rankings for a while, but they've been continuing with their success, and they've been continuing with their grinding and their learning. So the more they learn, the more they grind, the better they will get. Skies Gaming. Some of you may not know this, but that is Slurpee, or General-in-Chief's team, with Ball and Barry, and they just need to find an identity. They've changed their name 1,000 times. They've changed their roster 1,000 times over the course of the past year. So I truly think if they find their identity and they really start to mend together with one roster, and who knows, maybe under one name, that they'll be able to progress. And last but not least is Coco Drails, which is LGMZ Gamer. I believe I said that right. His roster, a couple people that grind ranked a lot. They've got an understanding of the game, but they've been in a couple finals brackets for PCS, but they really haven't showed me anything spectacular. And they haven't really stood out. But they did qualify in week 1, so they're a top 4 team in PS4 NA right now. But those are your power rankings for Phase 7 week 1. Again, Flashpoint, Vexed Gaming, and Onslaught did not play, so they are not included in these power rankings. They are great teams. Who knows? They could all be at the top of the power rankings in their respective regions. But for right now, they didn't play, so they're not in the power rankings. If you have any questions or comments about the power rankings, don't hesitate to leave comments below the video, or you can hit me up on Twitter at Bluball1993, or on Twitch when I'm streaming. Come in chat and let me know. I'll explain live on the show at Bluball1993. Console Corner will now be premiering on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's because the matches are played on Saturday and Sundays now. The games are shown on Mondays at 3 p.m., so we'll go live right after that at 7 p.m., and we'll talk Console Corner, you know, just as we always have been. I want to give everyone a big shout out for checking out the videos, keeping me busy with the content creation. And thank you to everyone who stops in and just shows some love to my stream, to my channel, and to my Twitter, even. I love you guys, and remember, I'm Bluball, but my hair's yellow.